First and foremost, we give all praises and glory to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Hakadash. Give honor to the apostles of GMS of Ruel. Shalom to the faithful men that's always continuing doing the work of the Lord. Alright, so now, Lord willing, I've been in the spirit for the past few weeks. I've been in the spirit strong in Star Wars now. Growing up, even now, Star Wars is literally my favorite franchise ever. Like, better than all franchise you can think of. Dragon Ball, Transformers, whatever. I believe Marvel, whatever. Fuck all that shit. I love all that shit, but I believe Star Wars is my favorite. Well, I believe it's the best in my opinion. But it's a very spiritual, movie, show, whatever you want to call it. Alright, I want, a little bit. I want to go into spiritual powers, and also, cause that's the spirit. Cause I wanted to go into spiritual powers. I haven't done that in a long time. But like I said, I'm also in the spirit of Star Wars, so I'm like, might as well just add the two together, goddamn. Cause you can make many videos on Star Wars. It's pretty much the story of Yahweh Shai, pretty much. It's really the truth. The Force, that's really pretty much Yahweh, pretty much. Because if you look at the Force is everywhere. Alright? And that's how Yahweh is. Yahweh, He exists in everything. It's everywhere. And you got the light side and you got the dark side. Alright? It's a lot if a little ad pops up. I'm on this random website. But you got the light side, right? And you got the dark side. Now, and it's beautiful too. If you look up George Lucas, the nigga that created it, he explains the Force, the light and the dark. It was very, very spiritual if you look it up on YouTube. I don't want to get no copyright, but he goes into it pretty much. The light side is, patience, discipline, and the dark side is pretty much the ultimate selfishness. It's like a cheat code. It's really, and to make it very simple, it's pretty much like a drug or like steroids or something. Like, it's like a cheat code. Like, you can get very powerful very quickly, and being on the light side, it takes more time, it takes discipline, it takes self-control. But with the dark side, you gotta channel your those negative feelings like fear, anger, jealousy, hate. But once you get that, it's like now you got your power, but now you in fear of losing it. You're in constant fear of losing it, so you gotta constantly, keep it up and all those different things like that. So you do anything, any means necessary to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. All right, but the light side is more peace and harmony. And he kept using the word everlasting. You know what I'm saying? Because like Yahweh Shai said, I will come, and the thief cometh to kill and destroy, but I come to bring life and life more abundantly. That's pretty much the light side and the dark side, righteousness and wickedness, pretty much. In the light side and righteousness, you got power. You can have spiritual powers. Just understanding the scriptures alone is power, but the Lord will increase us in due time. Even on the left-hand side, like us, we call it the left-hand side. They would call it the dark hand, but we call it the dark side. We call it the left-hand side. Now, the left-hand side, you got power too. You got witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Even in just your raw emotions. All right. These different demons can fuck with your emotions. Like anger, in which ain't nothing wrong with anger. Cause that's something. If you watch the Star Wars shit, the Jedi had it wrong because they was being over righteous. You know what I mean? They was kind of right, because you ain't supposed to have attachments, but at the same time, they was over righteous. Like, you can pretty much pop you a woman, but you can't marry that woman. You know what I'm saying? They was a little over righteous, but they was right though in a way, because hey, you can't be too attached to this world, and that's what your boy, Darth Vader, Anakin. He was afraid of losing his wife and all that shit, so that's how he turned to the dark side. And then when he turned to the dark side, he lost his fucking wife any damn way. You know what I'm saying? Because you can try to do good, but even lose yourself in doing that. Because the light side or righteousness is balance, and the left hand side or the dark side or wickedness, that's not balance. That's just you getting what you want, any means necessary. Alright? But yeah, I was going into this earlier, man. I'm just listening to different videos and shit like that, man. Because, man, it's beautiful. Man, I remember as a kid, too, man, like I said, because this is my favorite thing since a childhood. You know what I'm saying? I was just always so drawn to it, man. To this day, my favorite movie is Star Wars Episode 3, the third movie. Right? I absolutely love this fucking, man. That's a very spiritual movie too, man. I just rewatched that motherfucker like a couple days ago. I might rewatch it again. Very spiritual movie. But I remember as a kid, man. I remember I used to like really, as a kid, your imagination was crazy, bro. I used to really think I was a Jedi and shit, bro. I remember I used to try to like I remember my sister told me that shit. I think I told her, I ain't gonna try to get no woman because I'm gonna be a Jedi and shit. I was young at that time. But and I remember one day, man, I was sitting in my bed, and I remember and maybe it had been like a spoon or something on the ground or something, but I tried to use the force, and I remember I was really concentrating, bro, and I really believed that I actually could do it. And I actually, maybe, because it was so long ago, but I maybe was thinking in my head, like, if I really believe, then I will. That's pretty much what I was saying in my head. Like, if I really concentrate and believe that I will be able to move it. Obviously I wasn't. But it's beautiful, though, because now I know that one day it will become true. And in this scene right here, I think this is Star Wars Episode 5, maybe? Or maybe 4. I don't remember which episode this is in. But they was having a conversation. They was like in the war room. My man's Darth Vader, or this nigga right here that's getting choked out right now, about getting force choked. He was talking shit. He was like, oh, it was raw as shit the way Darth Vader did it. He was like, man, he was talking shit like, man, that force shit, that shit weak, that shit old as fuck, that ancient ass. He was just talking shit, and he was pretty much boasting in, their weaponry. You know what I'm saying? And then Darth Vader, he didn't even say nothing. He just started walking closer to him. And then he started choking him. He said, that's that famous line, your lack of faith is disturbing. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey man, through the faith and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, we're going to be able to use the so-called force. And it was a spirit too, because I was at work earlier, and I was listening to a elder brother, and he was going to spiritual powers, and he was like, yeah, the force is the spiritual powers, And I was like, man, that's the spirit, because I already had it in my mind. I was gonna make a video on it, But yeah, man, your lack of faith is disturbing, because if you have lack of faith, you're not going to be able to use these spiritual powers. All right. So I made a video a couple of days ago going into pretty much how showing different examples of different men and women in the scriptures that once they believed, then Yahushua performed a miracle. But once other people didn't believe, he was like, no, I ain't performing no miracle. He went to a whole city, and it was only but a few people that actually believed him. He healed them. But other people, he was amazed. He was like, God damn, these niggas, you know what I'm saying? He marveled at the unbelief of these people. So he was like, I'm not gonna heal these people, man, because they wasn't worthy to receive those spiritual powers and those healings and things like that. So that shows you that if you want these spiritual powers, or these spiritual powers to be on you, or to be performed to you, maybe you're sick, or maybe whatever, you know, you're dying, or maybe whatever the case is, you gotta have faith, you know. And if you do not have faith, then you won't be able to accomplish it. All right. And hey, your lack of faith is disturbing, bro. That's one of the hardest fucking what's it called, quotes of all time, bro. I find your lack of faith disturbing. You know what I'm saying? My nigga had to show him real quick, like, hold on, what you mean? Let me show you something real quick. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you struggling believing, nigga. What you talking about? You can't believe, or you about to struggle in breathing, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? And we gonna do that, bro. Alright? These people are going to see the power of the force, or the power of the spiritual of Yahweh B'Shmi Shai, man. Because the Most High, he is a force. Alright? Matter of fact, let's look into that word real quick. He's a force to be reckoned with. I know that for sure. And that's what the elder brother was saying too, because I was thinking about that. Yahweh Shai, he used the force. Because when he was about to get snatched up by, I believe what was it, by the Herod's men, you know what I'm saying? What did he do? The people tried to grab him up, and then they just all fell back. You know what I mean? Because the Lord has spiritual powers, and he didn't even touch them. The people just got force pushed, pretty much. I mean, if that was in the Star Wars fucking universe, you would have said, oh, he used the force to push everybody back. Because you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't that, then what else was it? He force pushed people, man. Alright? Where do you think a lot of these different ideals, these Marvels, these Star Wars, all these other different things, where do you think they got this shit from? They got it from the scriptures, man. Because like I said, I mean, when you look at the scriptures, the Star Wars is just the scriptures, pretty much. The chosen one, Anakin. You know what I'm saying? Palpatine, he's Esau. He's, you know, as the politician that's hiding behind the closed doors. And come on, man. I can go on. I can keep going on and on. Alright? Let's see what the word force means. Physical strength. Force, strength, courage, fortitude, power, compulsion, mighty, firm, steadfast, brave, bold. Okay, power to convince the mind. Alright, that's another power that the Jedi can have, man. You know, they can a Jedi mind trick, and they can force people's mind and shit. You will not do this, and then they be like, I will not do this. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have that power, man. All right. And really, technically, we already kind of got that power. I mean, you know what I mean? Well, the scriptures got that power, because the scriptures can persuade your mind. It can change your whole fucking. It can transform your whole mind into a whole. So now you're a totally different creature. You know what I'm saying? Body of armed men, military, let me see. Escort force upon an adversary, conquered by violence. Let me see. Hold on, let me. So like, hold on. Bring about unusual effect. Yeah. Bring about unusual effort. You know what I'm saying? affected by unusual application of force. Well, wasn't as good as I wanted to be, but still, man, that's power, bro. That's pretty much, that's what we say, what, spiritual power. You know what I'm saying? You doing and that's what your boy said, Palpatine. He said or Darth Sidious, he said the dark side is pretty much a gateway of abilities some will describe as unnatural. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is with the spirit, man. Because it's the force. It's the left hand side of the Lord and it's the right hand side of the Lord. You know, it's one. It flows through everything. The Lord is everywhere. He controls everything. He got a sway of everything. Alright? And the Lord, you know, when we do our spiritual powers and things like that, it's just the Lord is increasing our faith. And by way of our faith, we're able to pretty much manipulate the elements and other things like that. You know what I'm saying? Alright? And it's all kind of different force abilities. What you see on the movies it's not even half of it. You can, well, some of the movies show it, like episode 2, Anakin, he calmed that animal down. You know what I'm saying? And he controlled the animal, then pretty much made him, he was able to ride it and all that. Look at Noah. He had spiritual powers to get those animals on that boat. What was that? Elisha. He had spiritual powers to control those 2 sheep bearers to kill those children that disrespected him, man. All right. Force. He got force healing. All right. Yahushua was doing miracles, and you know what I'm saying. And really, technically, like, because what force users, they can sense. That's something I can't wait for. Like, I can't wait for enhanced. Like, the thing I love about spiritual powers is like enhance everything. Like enhance sight, your enhance smell, or enhance like spidey senses and shit. That's like one of my favorite powers, like spidey sense. Like when you know your boy Spider-Man, and he got them spidey senses, and he could just automatically just dodge and shit. That's like one of my favorite powers. Even like with fighting, I love how you can just dodge shit. Like you get it like a sixth sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you can literally dodge a punch that you don't even see. You just feel, like you can literally feel a person's body. Oh, he about to throw a hook. It's like a fucking sixth sense, bro. And it's beautiful. It feels so powerful. You know, but how much more? Like, we got that on a low level, really. Even a 2/3 nigga can do that. You know, you keep training your body. Eventually, you just get your reflexes is just like times 10. Or look at a cat reflexes is beyond us. All right. Or you imagine, or let's say somebody behind you. Somebody's just walking up. You can't hear them. You don't even know that they're behind you. But somebody get up on you. And you could just feel this person's watching you. You could just feel their presence. That's raw as shit, man. How much more in the kingdom, bro? We're gonna be able to feel like Jedis and shit, or even Sith. They can feel people's emotions, and they can even, you know, on a surface level, read people's minds. Yahushua could read minds. Let me get that real quick. That's something I really can't wait for, bro. I just want to feel like what people is feeling, and I can do that, you know. And we can do that. All right, we can do that on a very, very, very low level. Like you can feel somebody angry, like, you know, without them even saying nothing. They can just they could just be angry and they trying to hide it, and you could just feel the tension. And you just feel it, like, oh shit, this nigga mad as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Or when somebody's when somebody's overjoyed, you can feel their joy, you can feel their sadness. Let me see. Salakia. That's a spirit, man. I'm a second time in a row going into Yahweh Shai's power, like his miracles and things like that. I need to get into that more, man. I know that for sure, bro. Luke, this I guess is the closest one. Luke 5:22. But Yahweh Shai perceived their thoughts. He answered and said unto them, what reason ye in your hearts? Right, because you know the word heart means your mind. So Yahweh Shai was able to read people's mind. Alright. And there's other ones, but there's other ones, but I'm gonna leave that one too. But that's the point, you know what I'm saying? You're able to read people's minds and see people's memories. That's something I really can't wait for too. Cause you're right. I want to see everything. I'm very fucking curious, bro. I want to see every chain. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to see people's memories and what they thinking, and you know. But going back to the light and the dark, you know, right now, Lord willing, I'm on the light side. You know, I just gotta be patient for that. You know, I gotta be patient for that power. But the dark side, you can do that on the left hand side with witchcraft and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? There's low level witches and warlocks. Their power is ass. You know what I'm saying? But you got high level witches and warlocks that probably actually really could read certain people's thoughts and have, you know, spiritual powers, but on the left hand side, you know. And hey, there was times where the left hand and the right hand side battle. Look at the time of the time of Egypt, when Moses and Aaron, they was versus the Egyptians and their magicians and shit like that. Hey, there's gonna be times, it might be times like that for us. There might be times where you got somebody here that are doing witchcraft and doing false miracles to these people, and they might have a following, and then Jake might come in that bitch, you know what I mean, and hey, you know, proclaim Yahweh Shai and start using actual right hand side spiritual powers, and then people might be like, oh damn, you know, like Elijah, and go, oh nah, kill these prophets, or these are real men of the Lord. Hey, that could happen, bro. You know, I believe that actually will happen to somebody, because it happened before multiple times in the scripture. So why can't it happen again? History repeats itself. You know what I'm saying? That shit raw, bro. I just can't wait, bro. Hey, call out me up and shimmy out shy, bro. Because like I said, bro, since I was a kid, bro, I remember as a kid, bro, I really thought I could really do this shit, bro. And now, thanks be to the Lord, bro, we gonna be really able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Alright? What the scripture says, with men it's impossible, but with the Most High, all things are possible, man. That's gonna be nothing. To force choke somebody and you know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna be shit, man. To sense people, bro. My nigga Palpatine, this nigga was able to force choke somebody from the other side of the galaxy, bro. I'm gonna be on a whole different planet. I'm gonna sense my fucking one of my slaves going the fuck off. I'm gonna force choke that nigga, man. You think I don't see you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? You ugly ass nigga, I'm gonna force choke you. And I'm gonna use my lightning too, you know, to zap your shit. Alright? Man, we gonna have, hey, even your boy, he said power, unlimited Power. Man, I'm a fucking Star Wars nerd, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But it's a it's a wonderful franchise, man. And it's even better that we gonna do it even fucking better, man. And just for the record, I'm getting the lightsaber in the kingdom. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Lord said He gonna give us all of our heart's desire, man. All right, we gonna get everything, bro. And what's wrong with me having the lightsaber? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's just beautiful, man. Those days are coming, bro. These days are coming, man. We are going to get power far greater than anything, under Yahweh. Of course, we're going to be under Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be able to do, man, unnatural things, man. All right? I can't wait, bro. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because I already feel people's emotions. Like, I think it's called empathetic or some shit like that. Or empathy or whatever the fuck. But I think it's called empathetic when you can, like, when a person is, like, really home on people's emotions. And that's what I do, too. Sometimes I overdo it. And it's sometimes it's draining. Like, I always kind of just watch everybody. I'm very observant. You know what I'm saying? And I just make sure I take heed to people's emotions, and they, and I just witness it. You know what I mean? Like, we all do that on a surface level. You can feel when somebody's sad, mad, uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, and I can feel it. I can see it. But imagine when we get spiritual powers, bro. We're gonna be able to identify it, bro. We're gonna be able to smell it, to taste it. You know what I'm saying? To feel it, to sense it, bro. Because I know certain animals is able to sense your fear. Matter of fact, let me double check if that's even really true. All right, because I just heard that, but yes, many animals can sense fear in humans and other animals by detecting chemical changes in sweat, pheromones, hearing, increased heart rates. See that too? We're gonna be like fucking Superman, man. You're gonna be able to hear a heartbeat. Who was that? Off of Toph, off of Avatar: Last Airbender, one of the greatest franchises in the world. Toph, she was able to earthbend, so she can feel the earth. She can feel the vibration, so she was able to feel if somebody is, you can feel your heart. You know what I'm saying? I believe when you lie, your heart changes, your heart rate gets faster, whatever the fuck. So she was able to feel it. This person's lying. This person's telling the truth. Superman, and he can see through walls, and he can hear your heartbeat, all that shit. And reading subtle changes in body language. Study shows some dogs and horses in particular can identify human fear or stress, sense, and alter their behavior accordingly. All right, fear triggers the release of pheromones and chemical changes in sweat that animals with keen sense of smell can detect. All right, hearing animals can increase hunger. All right. Rather than a sixth sense, this ability stems from heightened senses that allow animals to interpret emotional signals across sense species boundaries. All right. So yeah, man, we're gonna have sixth sense. We're gonna have increased sense. All that. We just gonna be perfect. All right. So yeah, man. Let me see. Let me look up one more thing, and I'm gonna close it out. Let me see. Yes, humans can sense fear in others, primarily through subconscious chemical signals sent in emotional connotation. When people are scared, their sweat releases specific chemical markers that activate fear processing areas in the brains of those around them. A phenomenon often described as smelling fear. Damn, that's bugged out. Wait, hold on. Damn, so if you fear it affects other people's brains, that's fucking bugged out, bro. See, that's one of my favorite. I love to know how. You know what I'm saying? I love to know the how, why, when, where. I like to know every little detail, man. And we gonna get that in the kingdom, man. Fear-induced sweat, particularly from the apocrine glands, contains specific, whatever the fuck. Let me read this one. The signals are picked up unconsciously, acting like a sixth sense that triggers empathy or fear-related brain activity in the receiver. Right? Because yeah, sometimes if somebody else is feeling fear, then that's damn, that makes sense. Because if you watch that movie Apocalypse, whatever the fuck, he said fear is like a disease; it can spread. So you can't show it. That's true. Because when you see somebody else scared, then that might get you scared. Like even with niggas, you see a nigga run, you like, oh shit, you get scared too. That's crazy, bro. Damn. All right. Um. Studies using fMRI scans have shows that when humans are exposed to sweat from frightened individuals, their brain's fear sensors, specifically the amygdala, whatever the fuck, show increased activity. Uh, uh, Matter of fact, I want to do one more thing. One more thing, Salakia. All right. Kind of forgot I was doing the video. I feel like I was just studying by myself. Salakia. Yes, humans can be said to have a sixth sense, but not in a supernatural way, which it will be soon. Movies often portray it. Instead, scientists use the term to describe additional senses beyond the classic five: sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. Humans actually have several extra sensual systems that help us understand our bodies and surroundings. Balance, um, located in the ear, use semi-symmetrical canals filled with fluid to detect head movement and orientation, helps you stay upright, blah blah. Body position sense, your body ability to know where your body parts are without looking. Into the body states, let you feel hungry, thirsty. Let me see. Pain detection, alright, whatever. Let me see. Okay, your brain constantly process far more sensual information that you're consciously aware of, which is why intuition can sometimes feel like a mysterious sixth sense. Yeah, that's true. And sometimes you have like a sixth sense, like you feel it, you feel something in the spirit. Like you can feel like through the spirit, like nah, the spirit telling you like nah, don't go there. Don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is crazy. But one last scripture, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Because the scriptures goes into this different senses. I don't remember how it goes though. I think the word speech was in it. This is Sirach 17 and 5, and it's beautiful too, because two brothers, I gotta go back into it, but they was going into the different senses, and they broke down each one. It was an edifying video. I'm gonna try to go back into it, and just pretty much how the Lord speak through us through all these different senses, touch, smell, all that good stuff. Sirach 17 and 5. It says 4, it says, and put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord. And in the 6th place he imparted them understanding, and in the 7th speech, and an interpreter of the conjugations thereof. Right? And that's what the Lord did. We got the 5, operations, healing, smelling, all that good stuff. The 6, you got understanding. You know what I mean? That's the ones where they so-called eye-opening and whatever. We got the understanding. That's why that's why our knowledge is above these people, because we got the understanding of the scriptures. All right. And in the 7th speech, and not only that, but we also can break down the scriptures. We understand it, and now we can preach it. All right, and interpret it. All right, counsel in a tongue, and ears, and eyes, ears, and a heart gave he them to understand. Wherefore he filled them with the knowledge of understanding, and showed them good and evil. Right. And it keeps going on, but damn, I might go into this by itself. But yeah, I might do a video on this by itself, man. Lord willing. But that's pretty much the point. Lord willing, hopefully brothers is edified, man. Lord willing, man, we're gonna get that power real soon. So with that, hopefully it's edifying. Give our praise and glory to Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah, Hashem Hakadash, the to the apostles GMS Ruel, so to the brothers in this work. With that, I'm gonna say Shalom.